3, 2, 1, enter pass. Keying with a go.
Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Warbird Wednesday. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum, and today we're continuing to run through the world of attack helicopters. And Kevin, my videographer, we are kind of on the edge with this one. This is on the edge, but I'm going to explain why in a moment. But first, my Gluggy-Vour assistant, Caddyshack. Really? Dating myself, you know. Greg's going to be like going crazy with this, but remember that cute little, that was a gopher, I guess. It wasn't a squirrel. But anyways, I love that movie, and I am dating myself most of the, well, some of you probably remember what it is. But I will take off my Bushwood Caddyshack. I don't even know where you got this. All right, I'm going to toss that off camera to my Gluggy-Vour assistant, as they were saying. Now, we're talking today about the OH-1, the Kawasaki, the Ninja, and I'm not talking about a motorcycle. Now, the Ninja, let's try to, first of all, the Ninja, if Greg can throw up a plan view, I'll hold up the the Cobra, as I've been using. The Ninja is a little bit different in that Japan, this is, first of all, the first all indigenously produced Japanese helicopter. And that is my understanding. If I'm wrong, give it to me in the comment section. But the other thing about the Japanese is at the end of World War II, with their constitution, they were actually, and by treaty, they were prohibited from having offensive weapons. The same thing, an offensive military. And I'm not talking that these people were nasty or mean or rude. I'm talking about the Germans and the Japanese. We basically had problem with the Germans twice, and they didn't live by the Treaty of Versailles, so most of the country was occupied. The Japanese, we needed tactically as a bulwark against the Soviet Union at that time. So they were, I would say, a little bit more leniently treated. And again, you can argue with me about that. But, and we had American military bases all over Japan that we used, obviously, for the Korean War and for that whole toehold in Korea. But the Japanese armed forces were strictly relegated to defensive posture. So the OH1 designation on this aircraft does not surprise me. It looks like, as Greg threw up the plan view of the airplane, it looks like an attack helicopter, you know, the same inline crew set. It's got little winglets. It's all that stuff. Ostensibly, it was to replace the Loach, the OH-6D, but it which is a reconnaissance helicopter, it did not replace those. I'm going to tell you in a minute the foreshadowing that I was talking about with a lot of these manned upfront attack platforms, but at least from the Japanese point of view. But so I'm not surprised that it doesn't have an offensive designation and it is labeled an observation helicopter, but it has all the components of attack helicopter. It has a sensor boom on the roof or in the mast area. It's got little winglets that can carry you know, surface to ground missiles. It's got all the stuff. It just doesn't have a designation. It doesn't carry a chain gun, although they did look at an AH version of this helicopter, and it was rejected, same story, in favor of the Apache, the AH-64. Now, the first flight of this helicopter was in 1996. It was introduced in 2000. Very, very low build rate at 38. So this is another one of those that you go to war with what you got. If they ever got in a shooting war, those would be gone in about 20 minutes. It started out of a request in the 1980s, And that became from the Japanese government, and that became the OH program. And officially in 1989, it was designated the OH-X. Kawasaki, Fuji, and Mitsubishi, all very familiar names, were in the running. And then in 1991, Kawasaki is selected and they moved forward. They did look at, in the mid-90s, also turning this into a utility helicopter, but it never went anywhere. So that thing kind of died out. Mitsubishi, it has a Mitsubishi TS-1 engine in it, twin engine, power plants, and it also, as I said, has roof-mounted electro-optical sensors. So it can do that kind of, not shoot and scoot, but the like surface look, go back down. But it does have the missiles on it, but it doesn't have the same offensive capacity as some of the other attack helicopters that we've covered. Now, I want to get to my salute today. And my salute today is to Japanese aviation and the Japanese, I wouldn't say samurai spirit, but they have incredibly good armed forces. The Japanese armed forces are known for their professionalism. The Japanese, as I said, with this helicopter, this is kind of the first foray into what I would say is a modified attack helicopter, driven a lot by politics, but they do really incredible work. And, you know, although I beat on Imperial Japan, the Japanese designers and aircraft manufacturers are incredibly innovative. From one of the world's last operating seaplanes that we haven't covered that. I got to work that in somehow. The Japanese actually have some really cool aircraft. They are upgunning their carriers, which I would call more of our like attack landing ships, you know, those, but they're really helicopter carriers, those types of things. So they're upgrading. So today I want to celebrate the professionalism of the modern Japanese military with a delicious Boots beverage. Who is Boots? Any idea? It is a, what is it, Stagecoach weekend, so it is appropriate. Stagecoach is a huge Western, country and Western. They play both sides of kinds of music, country and Western, and at Stagecoach, and they it's this weekend. So they're down there doing the yeehaw big time. And we are going to, I don't know if this is their day, these guys are down there, is Orange Boots Dramasicle Cream Soda. Now it is cold, I'll give you that. And it's got a saying on it. Kay would sit atop the steps of the original bottling plant, eating oranges and daydreaming with her pet goat. Okay, we created Orange Boots Dramasicle to remind you of your childhood and that very special goat that you might have had running around your house. They are members of the Pure Cane Sugar Mafia. So we got that. Let's see. I can't tell how old this one is. It doesn't have a stamp on it. So this one, let's go ahead and get it opened up. Doesn't smell like a goat, so we're in good shape. Some of these do smell like 3-day-old goats or longer. It actually has a pleasant odor to it. It's cold, this is deceiving. The last one was cold and was like radiator fluid. So, all right. There was someone who likes Warbird Wednesday, a fan, who's like, you don't really drink all of that whole thing. You go, no, I don't. I just a little across the palate. We'll hit it again to the Japanese military and modern Japanese military and to their aviation industry. I salute you. Second sip. That's not bad. So to Kay and your goat, I salute you as well as the Japanese. This aircraft or helicopter was slated to replace, as I said, the OH-6D. That really hasn't happened. And it was the attack version was supposed to go, and then they went ahead and replaced it with the Apache. In 2022, now this is a bit of foreshadowing, the Japanese government said that all of their attack helicopters and observation helicopters are going to be replaced with drones. Where did you hear that? Who was saying that? Maybe some guy named Fred on Warbird Wednesday. But in 2022, the Japanese have made the decision that eventually all of these manned rotary wing aircraft are going to go to some form of unmanned drone. And I think in today's world, in the military world, it's just too dangerous. Now, the other interesting thing about the Japanese is the Pacific theater is getting really, that whole Pacific area rim is getting really hot. And what I mean by that is with the increase with the Chinese Navy, which actually has more ships than the United States Navy, they do not have more tonnage. In other words, the ships in the United States Navy are larger because we have all those carriers and heavy ships. They have a lot of coastal ships and things like that, but they do have, in a head count, more ships. The Japanese have been steadily rearming. And so you're going to see them, and they made a decision, and they've announced it, that they're actually going to increase their defense budget up to 2% of their GDP, which is, you know, their defense expenditures have been hovering about 1.3%, and there's a lot of arguments, like with what's going on in Ukraine, that the NATO members are not spending enough on their defense. Japan is extremely concerned about where they are in the neighborhood, and I think you're going to see this whole self-defense thing go out the window. They're going to get more and more aggressive in the defense of their territorial waters. And it's legitimate because, remember, they're a maritime nation, and they rely a lot on not only goods coming into Japan over the sea lanes, but their fishing and stuff like that. And that whole area, the fishing grounds and all that in that whole area there at Japan and Taiwan and the Philippines has become really fought over with all these raw materials and everything else. So expect that to continue, and I would expect that you're going to continue to see some really nifty stuff come out of Japan as they rearm and are a good partner of the United States military. Now, if you want to be the first on your block to recreate Apocalypse Now and play the Ride of the Valkyrie with this shirt, I encourage you to do that. And that is, there's nothing like the smell of napalm in the morning. And this shirt will come with its own complimentary smell of napalm from Jason. No, I'm just kidding. And by the way, napalm's outlawed now. You can't use napalm anymore. Bad stuff. And it really is bad stuff, by the way. This shirt has a Huey or a Slick, and it has a Cobra gunship on it. That is really cool. This is a new shirt. Be the first on your block to pick one of these up. So click on that link, and Jason will happily trot on down to the store and ship this out to you, and you can reenact Apocalypse Now. The first one on your block to do that. You know what? We're going to have to see if we get a copyright strike on that because I'm referencing that. I don't know whether we will or not. But this is extremely cool. Now, I'm standing in the European hangar amongst all this really cool stuff. We cannot do it without your donation. So click on that link. Somebody said they liked my use of, send us some shekels, some dinero, some dollars, some bling, however you want. And we really do need that because we reinvest that all in the museum so we can use your donations. If you came across us on YouTube and you like very low production Warbird videos that we don't spend a lot of time on, but you like the kind of overview, you know, we have well over 200 now in the catalog. Encourage you, leave us a like or a comment. forward us to your friends, especially if they want to get a what I would call an Apocalypse Now shirt there. Forward us to your friends. Give us a comment. If you're on Facebook, same thing. We love comments. We love likes. If you are teaching the kiddos at home, remember we've got the education guide links where you can either download those or view them online, and they cover everything from world history to dynamics of flight. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
3, 2, 1, end of test. Team with a go.
Day, all my fears have gone away. I guess it's